Some people think you need all these tubes in order to paint a winter scene. Well, let's do it with 3. And those 3 that will work beautifully for you: transparent oxide red, Rembrandt makes it; cadmium yellow deep, Rembrandt makes that one too; cobalt blue, this is a Grumbacher or Gamblin. Either one of those makes a really wonderful cobalt blue. There are others too, but we know those 2 will work. Of course, add white, but the limited color, just those 3 colors, all you need for getting a wide variety of ways to interpret winter colors. Let me just give you a brief idea here. I have a winter scene here, typical of what we find here in North Georgia. So what we see in that scene is what we typically see here. We see lots and lots and lots of grays. Some of those grays might lean a little bit cool, some may lean a little bit warm. We see dead leaves on the forest floors, and those will go in various warm ranges of browns to oranges to almost sort of purple sometimes. We normally see pastures that look about half dead. So we'll see a little bit of green, but it'd be very, very dull green. We have lots of blue skies in the wintertime. This particular one, it's sort of cloudy, just a little bit of sky coming through. There's the blue. So first of all, let me show you what your options are here, and I'll show you how to explore the options. So if you take just those 3 colors, the best thing to do would be, first of all, play with them a little bit to find out what they'll do. And play first with single colors and see what the value range. See what happens when you add white in. And so here's the transparent oxide red straight out of the tube. I'll put that down like that. And then if we would go like for a middle value of transparent oxide red, I won't take you through the entire value scale, but if you're exploring them, you might go maybe try to get at least 5 values here. But for the sake of time, let's just work with 3. And here is sort of a middle value. You see how nice and orange that goes, and you can almost see this if you look in the scene. You might see bits and pieces of both these sort of popping out in the various warmer areas of the scene. And then you can go very, very light with this, and you get something like this. Something like that. So there are 3 possible values for the transparent oxide red. Now I'll wash the brush, and let's look at the 3 possible values for cobalt blue, and then we'll look at what they'll do to each other, and then we'll look at what yellow does to each of them. And then you can play with it from there on. I'll get you started, then you play. So cobalt blue straight out of the tube, very dark like this. Don't really see any of that there, but we might imagine, well, I'll tell you what, as I'm saying might imagine, let's add a little bit of the cadmium orange into cobalt blue and see what we get. And we get here a wonderful green, a wonderful dark green. Cadmium, I called it cadmium orange. No, that's not right. It's cadmium yellow deep. Cadmium yellow deep. You get this wonderful deep, deep green. And you can see that here. See lots of the deep, deep green in the water here and here. Now we'll go back to, let's get a different brush so that we don't have to wash these. Then we go back and see what are the possibilities for cobalt blue in the middle value range. And in the middle value range, cobalt blue will do something like this. If you add white to it, cobalt blue will do something like this, and it sort of gets very cold feeling. That might be the same value as the darkest part of the sky, but it wouldn't be the same hue. What can we do about that? That's easy. Tiny touch of cadmium orange into that, and it actually will turn it more towards the color and value, the hue I should say, the hue and value of the darkest portion of the skies that we see here in North Georgia. So I'll just put that right down here. You can see that sort of a cerulean blue. And then of course as we add white into that, into the cerulean blue, and maybe add a little bit more of the cobalt back and forth, we find variations in those skies, and we see we can get variations on that. Add a little bit more white, and of course more variation. And then we also know that if we are looking at the as the sky gets closer to the horizon, it's going to get a little bit warmer. And so what we can do there is to go into the transparent oxide red, add a whole lot of white to the transparent oxide red, and a little bit of that blue, and we have here, well, let's get it like this. This gets more towards that kind of grayish warm. Then, of course, if we go really close to the horizon, sometimes especially when the sun is setting, we can see kind of a pinkish form in the sky, and then we can add just a touch of the transparent oxide red into white. And let's go right up in, well, I'll just continue the skyline right there, or you can see, you kind of see what will happen as building a sky with those colors. So you can see also we could add just a little bit more of the cadmium orange to the ultramarine blue right here, and we get a lighter a lighter green that we actually might see in this area right over here, and add to that a little bit more of the white, and just a little bit of transparent oxide red. We see here sort of that mixture of green and brown or orange that you see in that dead winter grass in that pasture. So that shows you there some options. And I want to show you one more option, and that is for getting grays. So we'll wash the brush for that one. Those two colors, transparent oxide red and ultramarine blue, are really sort of complementary colors. And because they are, well, they're not exactly, they're sort of akin and not akin, but they're close enough to being complements because of the red orange and the blue, the orange and the red and the blue, that they can actually create a gray together. And so if you then take a little bit of transparent oxide red and ultramarine blue and mix them together, here you begin to get a gray. Now with more of the transparent oxide red, less of the blue, you get a warmer gray. Let's get that like this. Transparent oxide red, more of the blue, you get a cooler gray right here. And you can see right here, there is a point at which both of them, when you get them mixed sort of half and half, they give you a really wonderful gray, feeling of gray. And of course, when you're looking at those winter trees, you'll often just see that on the very darkest part of the trees, they will look sort of purplish. You can add just a little bit of the transparent oxide red to the ultramarine blue, and well, let's just put it right here. So you can imagine that is the edge of a tree right in here, sort of like that. That would give you what you need. So you see, you've got lots of opportunities. I haven't even begun to show you all the possibilities for exploring transparent oxide red, cobalt blue, and our wonderful Rembrandt cadmium yellow deep. So if you found this quick tip helpful, why not explore our full-length instructional videos at DianneMize.com. You'll find there that we've got over 100 full-length videos in downloads for you and DVDs, so give it a try. And there's your quick tip.